It's early morning, midsummer, very early morning. It's before 7 a.m. It's been very warm and steamy, high humidity the last few days. In fact, almost the last week. You can see the early morning fog here over my north hayfield. The sun's up, but it's obscured right now between the fog and the tree right there. It's now just coming into the shot. It's facing east, northeast right there. There's the back side of the shop. See the fog off in the distance over that tree line. Nesting season for the birds is pretty much over. Actually, it has been over for probably at least a few weeks, if not pushing a month now. There are a few late nesting species that are still active. But the majority of the common songbirds, American robin for instance, is done nesting for this season. And gradually they have stopped singing. Again, there's still a few birds that are singing early in the morning, but most are now going silent because singing is a breeding activity. It's exactly 24 hours later. Same field, same perspective, and as you can see, my neighbor mowed the north hayfield late in the day yesterday. This is the second cutting of the season. It's late July, and that's about right in terms of timing. We had a relatively dry spring, and then recently the rain has kind of caught up from the deficit that we've been running. Hay's been doing really well. Timing's about right. Kind of a midsummer for second cutting. It's possible he'll get a third, which would be probably mid-September, early to mid-September. Doesn't always get a third cutting. As the season progresses, it becomes tougher and tougher to get the hay dry because the daylight hours are shortening, of course, and with dew, and it's very dewy out here right now, it's quite wet. To get the hay dry enough to be able to bale it can be a challenge when you get late in the season, real late in the season, like September or so. So it's entirely possible this will be the last cutting of the year. I guess we'll see how the rest of the summer plays out in terms of weather. It's cool, but not cold. We've had warm, last couple of days have been very warm and sultry, very humid. That's supposed to break later this week, towards the end of the week. And there behind that tree, that tall tree, you can see the sun peeking up. It's actually a couple of days later now, and you can see the hay is all raked up into rows. I think he combined 3 into 1 this time. It changes depending on the density, how thick and heavy the hay is, but I think he did a 3 into 1. I did not help him this time. Again, this is second cutting, late July 2021. We're supposed to get heavy rain tonight, so I'm expecting what will happen is he will, that is my neighbor, will allow this to dry probably until early afternoon today, and then he'll bale it. He did a couple of rounds last evening, square bales. I guess as he'll probably do round bales today. And then the south field, which is directly behind me, is mowed but not raked. It's quite a bit smaller field than this one. And he'll probably put his wife on that with the rake while he's round baling this, and then he'll move right over and bale that south field right after this one. But he's got to get this hay off today, or it's going to get soaking wet, which is not good.